Hey everybody, welcome to the Delivery Driver Pit Stop. My name is Michael, I'm your host. I'm one of the only channels on YouTube and does gig economy videos that tells it the way it is, does not sugarcoat it, and can care less about the fallout because sugarcoating does nothing for no one. Anyway, before I get started, I want to say thank you very much to everybody. The video I did a couple days ago about DoorDash's new pay model is off the hook. I'm at almost 1,300 views, over 80 comments, and over 80 likes. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you click on over there and watch the video. It has a lot of helpful information. And if you have not done so, make sure you like that. Anyways, I wanted to get to a subject that happened last week that a few channels have already covered, but I'm going to cover it myself because it happened to me. And it happened to me personally in a much bigger way than I was used to. So what I'm talking about is the DoorDash hack. If for those that don't know, might have been living under a rock or just don't follow things, DoorDash was hacked this last May. And I think it was over 100,000, well, I don't know exactly. A lot of people were hacked. And customers as well as Dashers, and over, I think, 100,000 Dashers driver's licenses were exposed, which is not good. I will be linking one of the original articles in the description below, so if you have not heard about it, it's a good read, you might want to read it and see if it affects you. It affected me personally. Let me tell you what happened. And I got the email, and over the last month, someone or somebody or some group of people have really been doing a number on me. Numerous accounts of mine have been compromised. I've been getting numerous telemarketing calls at 2 or 3 in the morning that are, telemarketing spam. Thankfully, my two-step authentication has caught most of them, but I was wondering why just out of the blue, a bunch of my accounts were being hacked. And then I get this email and it all makes sense. I was not happy about it. So in the email, they give you an 800 number. I call the 800 number, and of course, the first line of defense is someone that was outsourced outside the country. I can barely understand the person. No, I'm not trying to make judgment, but I unload on him saying, I don't appreciate this. This account was hacked. This account was hacked. This account was hacked. So hold on, I'm going to pass you on to somebody else. So I was passed on to the legal department at DoorDash, and I told DoorDash. Of course, she had to tell the company line saying, we're sorry. First thing I asked her, you were hacked in May. Why did it take till September? And then I went on to tell her, look, you saying, this certain information was not passed on, but I beg to differ, I told her. I said, several of my accounts were hacked or attempted hacking, and it's directly related to your company. So she said, well, we're going to take your name and your information, and we're going to pass it to the legal department that's handling this, and someone eventually will be back with you. Now, am I going to get reparations for it? Probably not, but I wanted to let DoorDash know I was not happy, and, it made total sense with everything that's been happening to me. So let's see, I've had my bank account attempted being hacked, my DoorDash account was hacked, my Grubhub account was attempted being hacked, my YouTube account was attempted being hacked, 2 of my Yahoo accounts were attempted being hacked. My phone number has been passed around. I can go on and on and on. My Discord, several. I have hardware on my network that monitors, information that is, doesn't seem right. I've had numerous scans from Russia on my home network trying to find weaknesses in my home network that what I employ stopped it, but thankfully I had this my network set up this way. I feel bad for people that are not, technically inclined, that don't have this type of network set up, that are probably getting raked through the coals worse than I. So I wanted to give a little background. DoorDash was directly responsible for hell on earth for me for the last month. Been very frustrating. I mean, when you get a call at 2 or 3 in the morning, what's the first thing you guys think? First thing I think is, oh my God, somebody in my family is having an issue. And with my brother, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, having a heart attack, that's the first thing I thought was, lately is he's having complications. Thankfully, it wasn't that. But DoorDash, you've made, the only thing you guys can do is say, we're sorry. That's not good enough. People like me that's suffered a great deal because a multi-billion-dollar company like yourself had horrible network security is shameful. So to make it negative into a positive, I decided to do a video on how you can protect yourself in the future from this type of thing happening. Unfortunately, when companies like this are hacked, there's only so much you can do. I mean, what you want to make sure is you never use the same password if let's say you're using a distinct password for DoorDash, make sure you don't use the same password for Grubhub, for your banking, because it will cause headaches. And yeah, anyway, so I wrote down some things here. So I'm going to discuss a few different ways to protect yourself on your phone and on your home computer. I went over this about 4 or 5 months ago, but I thought it'd be a good refresher course, and a lot of more information has come out. A lot more handy tools have come out that helps you protect yourself. Everything I discuss will be linked in the description below. So, as again, what I discuss may work for you, may not work for you. I'm just giving you hints that I know work for me and should work for you. As always, your mileage may vary. There's no guarantee you won't be hacked or attempted to be hacked, but the tools I discuss here will help you not get hacked. First thing you want to do, make sure all your accounts, if possible, has 2-step authentication, meaning not only do you have to have a password when you log in, but they text you when you log in a password, so you have to use 2 different passwords. It's called 2-step authentication. Make sure if the software you are using has it, to make sure you enable it. It is a must. I know Yahoo has it, Google has it, and a bunch of other companies that use software on the internet have it. So if you don't have it turned on, make sure you turn it on. It's a lifesaver. Trust me. Trust me. First thing I suggest is you get yourself a browser, which a lot of you know, everybody should know. A browser is a piece of software that helps you surf the internet. It's like Internet Explorer, Google, Chrome, Firefox, stuff like that. This applies both to iOS, Apple and Android, as well as Windows and Apple operating system on desktop. First thing you should download, which is a superb piece of software, it's a browser, and it's called Brave. Brave. The founder was a former executive for, I believe it was Firefox. This piece of software, this Brave software, is fantastic. It pretty much, you install it, you do some slight configurations on it, and it helps protect you from those prying eyes on the internet. I highly suggest using it. It's the browser that I use by default, called Brave. Again, it's available for Apple. It's available Android, Windows, and it's a piece of software that is spectacular. It's still being developed, but it's great. I love it. You should try it. It's very secure and very private. If you don't want to use Brave, something I've talked about before, Firefox is another spectacularly good browser that is its priority is your privacy online. If you do use Firefox, there's a few extensions, they call them extensions or plugins, that you want to use with Firefox. That's what's nice about Brave, they're already integrated in the Brave browser. So if you use Brave, you don't have to worry about this. But in Firefox, you want to use an extension called HTTPS Everywhere, which is an extension. So when you go to these websites that offer secure, when you get the little lock on your toolbar, and make sure your connection is secure, so you cannot, your eyes, prying eyes can't look what you're doing. And you want to have an extension called Do Not Disturb, DNT, or Do Not Track, excuse me, Do Not Track, not Do Not Disturb, Do Not Track, DNT. What it is, it's a piece of software that tells these websites, like, whatever you go on, do not track what I'm doing. Of course, they don't have to listen to you, but it helps. A lot of these web browsers will, an honor system will honor the do not track flag that you have. Some won't. It just helps you. So like when you go on, you shop on Amazon, you shop for shoes, and all of a sudden for months and months, you're getting these pop-ups for shoes, and you wonder how. This helps prevent that because they're tracking you with cookies. These, the little pieces of software that they take from your browser and knows exactly what you're browsing. I don't like it. So HTTPS Everywhere and Do Not Track, the two extensions. Again, I'll be linking all this in the description below. The most important thing you should have when you're on the web, on the phone, on your computer, is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. And what the best way to describe a VPN is, when you don't run a VPN, when you're on wireless, or even when you're on wired, your information is like going down a freeway. And anybody who wants to look at your information, if they have the right software, right tools, they can see who's on the freeway, and basically they can see what you're doing. They can take these bits of data off your data stream and basically get information to hack you. So what a NordVPN or all VPNs do is, let's say you're going down the freeway and you go through a tunnel. Now you can't see what's happening. So what Nord does, what a VPN does, is it encapsulates your data into a tunnel, and that tunnel no one can see, and it makes it virtually impossible to hack your data stream when you're on wireless or when you're wired. And the encryption is 256-bit encryption, which makes it virtually impossible. It would take billions of years to crack the encryption that these VPNs are using. So I highly suggest you use a VPN. They're not free. There's a couple of them you'll see that offer free services, but it's not worth the free. The one I use is NordVPN, N-O-R-D VPN. It is ranked one of the top, if not the top VPN services. Right now, if you pay for 3 years in advance, they're like charging you $3 a month, which is very good. I mean, how much is your privacy worth? I love it. It's one of the top ranked VPN services, in the world, and I highly suggest you use a VPN. It will help protect your data. And I suggest Nord. I will be linking Nord. There's others out there, ExpressVPN and a few others. But I personally like NordVPN. What's nice about NordVPN, the company is based out of Panama. And Panama has very, very, very strict privacy rules. So let's say you're on the web and you're surfing and something happens and you get popped and the government wants to see what you were surfing. NordVPN, first of all, does not keep logs of what you're doing. So there's absolutely no logs, so they have no clue what you're surfing when you're on with NordVPN. And let's say they did try to get something from you. Since the company is based in Panama, you can the company tells the U.S. government or any other government, go pound sand, have a nice day. You're not getting no information from us. NordVPN is great when it comes to that. They're secure. They pride themselves on their security, and it makes a huge difference. So I will be linking that. Another thing you might want to use is a password manager. And what a password manager is, it's a piece of software that encrypts all your passwords. You can create really difficult passwords, and what it does, that way you don't have to remember any of your passwords. This piece of software Stores all your passwords in an encrypted environment. That way you can sync them, meaning you can go through from your computer to your phone to any other tab, or like to a tablet, and all you simply have to do is log into LastPass. It's the one I use, and you don't have to remember your passwords, which makes it great because, again, you need to have strong passwords on every account, and each account needs to be different password. The one I use is LastPass. There's a free version, which I love. Dashlane has one, and there's a few others. I personally like LastPass. I'll be linking that in the description below. It's the free version. You can also get the paid version, which has a cloud service, which is great. But that's what I use. One other thing is people say, oh, if you surf smartly or whatever, you don't need it, but an antivirus. You absolutely, I feel, need an antivirus for your computer, for your Android phone, for your iOS phone, and for your Apple computer. And the one I suggest, it's free, is AVG Antivirus. It's ranked #1 on CNET for free antiviruses. There is a paid version of AVG if you want to go with that. I love AVG. It's a great piece of software. It's free. Free is good. So those are the things I get. So basically, Brave browser. If you don't want to use the Brave browser, Firefox with the extensions, HTTPS everywhere, and do not track. Make sure you use a VPN. The one I use is Nord. There's several others out there. I love Nord because I've used it, and the privacy is bar none the best in the world. Password manager, again, I use LastPass. You can use anyone you want, but make sure you use one. That's what's most important. I'll be linking LastPass in the description below, and an antivirus. Now, the steps I've gone over here, will it prevent you from being hacked? No. But it will help, especially when you get companies like DoorDash that cannot keep their data safe, that puts everybody in jeopardy that uses their software, including myself, which is a perfect example of what happens when these companies that are worth billions have no clue what they're doing. So unfortunately, it's left up to you to know what you're doing. So basically, that's it. I will be linking all the tools I've talked about in the description below, as well as the DoorDash article about your DoorDash being hacked. I know this has been a long-winded video. We're going on 18 minutes, but this needed to be said. I wanted to get this out there. As always, if you find this type of video helpful, my videos helpful, I would appreciate a like, a thumbs up on the video. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and then hit the little doorbell so you're notified when I release videos like this. As always, you can follow me on social media. The links are in the description below. I thank you for your time. I appreciate you tuning in. I value your time. And as always, I will not sugarcoat anything, and I will not sit there and waste your time with pointless crap. As always, thank you for tuning in to this 18 minute and 30 second pit stop. We will see you next time on the Delivery Driver Pit Stop. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.